Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Studs. I'm your host Mark. Today I'm joined by Garrett and Steven.
Hello.
Two of the happiest guys at the Lego store to talk about a really fun, positive thing. But before we do, we all look pretty sharp today.
We look good.
We
A little
look
dapper.
We look fancy and flashy and colorful. I think it's kind of like we're talking about a positive, heroic subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. It's a Hawaiian Shirt Friday for
that's
those who don't know.
right,
So, yeah. Everybody is dressed like this. It's not just us.
It's very traditional. It's
Yeah,
right here.
it's fun. All right, but today we're going to be talking about a bunch of cool minifigures, but not just any minifigures, hero minifigures. I've tasked each of you and myself to pick out our 5 top Lego hero minifigures from Lego IP only. So not like movies or other things that are not,
No
created
Star
by Lego.
Wars.
Yeah, no Star
Indiana
Wars.
Jones.
No, that's too easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I was about to say, literally, Luke Skywalker, done.
Are
We're
you
good.
serious?
There's the video.
Credits.
Yeah,
But we got a bunch more than that to talk about. So, Steven, why don't you bring up your first hero minifigure?
For my first figure, I'm going way back to the old Alpha Team line. Now, a lot of people love Ultra Agents. There was a lot of Ultra Agents villains on our last episode. But I wanted to bring someone who was one of the good guys. It's definitely... There was a James Bond movie based on in the water. I think it was Thunderball or whatever. Everyone was a diver with harpoon guns. It was kind of cool, and I think Alpha Team took some inspiration from that. This is Flex. There was kind of like Ninjago. Everyone had a different character. Flex was the techie guy of the group, sort of. He was sort of the
Action
swinger. Yeah, he had all the lassos and everything, and the little grenades and everything. So yeah, this was a set that I bought. He had a little pod with him and a couple other things. I bought this when I was a kid, and I thought he was just absolutely the coolest minifigure ever, and he had that crazy giant grin and everything. So these guys would fight Ogul. They had 3 generations. Not a lot of love for the good guys. He would go with Dash and Radia and all these other fun characters. They all had their own personalities, and I just really like him. I thought he looked really cool. I love the diver aesthetic. Grew up in Florida. I love the ocean and stuff like that. It's very fun. So
absolutely,
it's not the most impressive out of my roster, but definitely one of the most nostalgic. I really liked Alpha Team when it first came out.
And that was your favorite of the team, right?
My favorite out of the group for sure. You like Dash a lot, I remember. But yeah, Flex,
I liked Dash.
Flex had the big mouth, and I really liked the color orange growing up and wearing it today. And I just love that character. So.
Yeah. Well, good choice, Steven. I would partially agree. The only reason I don't fully agree is because Dash was kind of seen as the poster child of Alpha Team.
He was in the background.
Flex might have been a little bit. He was the second or third in the team. So because there's a team element, he's not the singular.
He's not
hero.
the leader. Yeah, he's not the
I gotta
green
knock
ninja.
you a little bit. I would go on a yellow rating on that, but it's still good.
I would have grabbed Dash, but we don't have one in the store. We don't have any
That's
Dash
fair
in the
enough,
store.
then.
So I went I'll just go with my favorite. But I respect it.
Well, the nostalgia makes a lot of sense. So how do you feel about that one, Garrett?
I actually really like this figure. The printing on it's really nice, and like you said, this is that big grin he has. I would go a green on this one. I'm partial to diver figures too.
Yeah, there's a lot of underwater.
There's always
themes.
a cool aesthetic.
And I think we're going to be mostly green on this
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah,
like some other
yeah,
episodes,
yeah.
but we might have a little bit of a reason to say,
We'll
I
see.
kind
I have a
partially
few as
agree.
well. Yeah, we'll discuss that in a minute.
We'll get to it. But and also, if you haven't seen the antithesis to this video, we talked about villains not too long ago. So if you wanted to check out all the cool villain minifigures, me, Daniel, and Joe, the negative Nancys of the group, we're talking about that.
The cynics.
There you go.
But Garrett, what's your first figure that you want to present to the audience here?
The first one, I guess I'll go ahead and stick with the diver theme kind of. So I have a 2-for-1 actually for my
This is
first
cool.
one.
Very cool.
So I'll start with the first iteration of the character. This is Brains from Power Miners. He was kind of also kind of the techie kind of science character from Power Miners. Yeah, great face prints. I always liked him because he's got this robotic eye that has.
They can zoom in. Stuff.
Yeah, kind of bionic eye. And in
Bit
the
of
Power
cyborg.
Miners theme, he has a little diamond in it. Which Power Miners is one of my favorite themes.
It's a good one.
But then one of my favorite underwater themes was Atlantis. And Atlantis happened to also have the same character, Brains. He moved from Power Miners once they were done with the Power Miner stuff. He became part of the Atlantis
He
team.
went from ground to water.
Yeah.
What an epic adventure.
And-
I mean, that's awesome.
It gets around,
It's
doesn't it?
the same character. He has a slightly different face print. It's pretty much the same, but in his robotic eye, he has a little the alpha, not the alpha, the
discs?
the
the
keys,
triangle,
the
keys,
Atlantis
yeah.
keys. And so I love Power Miners, love Atlantis, and for one of the characters to cross over is so cool to me.
And very rare. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Garrett, before coming into the video, and I was like, they're the same character? No, it makes total sense. And he's definitely the brains of the operation. This guy is so knowledgeable about science, and
it's really cool.
Rock monsters, giant underwater beings.
If you're going somewhere wild and crazy on the planet Earth, this guy is your guy.
You want him in your sidekick. Yeah.
So, Steven, what do you think about this?
Green light on that one. That was absolutely a very cool one. The both themes are amazing. Both of the minifigures have nice printing, great stories, lots of character. And they're just really fun. They're just tearing through all these crazy biomes and everything and having a great time. So that makes sense.
Now, this is very interesting to me. I not always that I am surprised with the element of lore. Usually it's pretty straightforward. This is cool that they have a crossover.
Yeah.
So for that reason, it's definitely green. I would have probably gone a little bit more towards yellow because he's part of a team.
Yes.
He's not the only hero in that group.
Yeah, that's the same problem with the Flex a little bit.
And it's not even they're all heroes.
And there really wasn't a poster child for how Rock Raiders had Chief was the leader.
Chief's the guy.
But with Power Miners, there really wasn't they all were pretty equal.
Yeah, it was an even playing field of heroes trying to fight the monsters. But because he has two different arcs and two different lives, I got to give it a green for that.
That's some lore right there. Yeah. That's some deep lore. Your turn, bro.
All right, so I'll present my first figure. I'm going to go with this one here. So this is Chase McCain.
Chase McCain.
And if you don't know who Chase McCain is, he is the most iconic Lego City police officer, which is saying something since there are literally thousands of Lego City police officers.
So many of them,
he has his own video game. He had his own online flash games on Lego.com. He has a whole comic book series about him. He is amazing. He is doing justice on the streets of Lego City. The man falls into the river off the bridge. He is there to save him. So he's basically he is so iconic. I just love him.
That's great.
And I like to think that all people in public service are heroes, but Chase McCain is iconic among them. So that's my first presentation. What do you guys think about Chase McCain? Let's go first.
I was gonna go with a yellow because I don't really care about City.
I just don't have a connection to the character.
I just don't like it. But that was a good sales pitch. I'm gonna change it to a green.
There we go.
I was set for a yellow. That was gonna be your only yellow characters.
Yep. Right, well, what do you think about Chase McCain here?
I'm gonna have to give it a green. When you were pulling figures, I saw him on the counter. I said, "Is this Chase McCain?"
That answers that.
You know who he is. That's the thing.
Like you said, most iconic. Lego police officer out of the thousands and thousands of them.
Yeah.
And he's got a Chad face, and
he's got a unique badge on his arm too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a fairly plain figure, but a few flourishes here.
Yeah.
Just
if you need a police officer, that's your guy, I think.
Exactly.
I would go green.
There you go. Well, thanks, Garrett. That's awesome. A couple greens for them and some good characters so far, but we're about to cycle back to Steven here.
All right.
What do we got?
Well, I think I'm going to go with this little gem here. The best equipped minifigure in history. He had magnifying glasses, he had compasses, he had tools of all kinds, a firearm, and everything. This is Johnny Thunder, based on Niels. What's his last name? Pedersen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Niels Milan Pedersen. Yeah.
That's the one. Anyway, an amazing designer from the Lego company. Johnny Thunder is one of the all-time, he's been on the front of so many magazines. He's had his own comic series, he's had his own games, flash games on Lego.
4 distinct Lego themes.
4 themes that were totally unique to Lego. Everyone says, oh, he's Indiana Jones, but then I'm like, oh, wait, he has dinosaurs. Wait, is Indiana Jones?
And he's an Australian.
And he's an Australian. I think there was some Crocodile Hunter influence with that. Around the same time, they were both really popular, so maybe there was some influence there. But yeah, he also has these amazing backpack pieces with dynamite on the inside. I actually have some plates in there.
And they have so many guns.
There's just so much. And he was always out there looking for all these, raiding these tombs and, getting all these amazing archaeological discoveries and everything. And just out there with the perfect adventure. Probably Lego couldn't get the rights to Indiana Jones. Maybe they couldn't reason with it. Should we try this? Is it popular right now?
It wasn't understood in that kind of branding back then.
It just wasn't a thing back in the early 2000s. Everyone was talking about Star Wars. So they just did their own thing, and it paid off. It's such a cool theme, and there were other characters too, but this guy, he stole the show. He stole the camera. This is one of Lego's ultimate heroes, And I think he's got a really cool, just everything about him is just so iconic and interesting. He even appeared in the Lego movie. Yeah, little cameos in the Lego movie.
That shows how popular the character is.
He's one of the all-time greats.
Well, what do you think about Johnny Thunder, Garrett? How do you feel about this one?
If you don't like Johnny Thunder, you're not a Lego fan.
You heard it here, folks.
Statement
is
there.
where I would go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Adventurers is such an iconic theme, and I mean, definitely the most armed Lego minifigure.
Yeah, best equipped ever.
Yeah, literally.
So no, I would have to go green on that. Johnny Thunder is just iconic, and I mean, you can't talk about Lego heroes without talking about Johnny Thunder.
Yeah. Literally a magazine cover of Lego heroes.
He is the poster child. He was the poster child of Lego for a long time.
He was. So, the deepest of greens for Johnny Thunder. One of my favorite characters growing up. Notable in the Lego Racers video game too.
That's right. He was hard to beat. His car was really good.
He was not just a character; he was a boss. And a pretty capable one too. So very cool character. But what do we got on your list here, Garrett? What's the next figure you want to present?
So next, I'm going to pull out Takeshi.
There he
EXO
is.
Force.
Oh yeah.
So EXO Force was a theme that was very near and dear to me when I was growing up.
Us too. Yes,
yeah, I mean, I was a huge anime fan, still am. I mean, I used to watch Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece all the time when I was a kid. And so when Legos decided, hey, we should maybe do an anime theme, I was all over it. I was the target demographic.
Yeah,
it was
the
exciting.
art style, the comics.
And I mean, I remember just all the mech builds being so cool. I always wanted the Sentai Fortress, never got it. But Takeshi was always my favorite, just mainly for the green hair. That was always my favorite color. And
the vibrant hair colors were amazing. So.
And I mean, his face print is so angry.
Yep.
I mean,
the most dramatic faces in Lego ever.
They're such unique characters. You don't see a lot of other part usage. Like, people don't use these for other things.
Yeah, the faces are so unique that you really, it's only EXO Force unless you're making an anime style character.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I had to show some EXO Force love. I was gonna pull the one of my favorites when I was a kid was just the guard who just has the black hair with the orange.
The hair is very
Goku-esque.
Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah.
The black hair, yeah.
It's almost exactly like
jumpsuit.
Yep.
It's almost exactly
and
like
now
it.
that you mentioned, there's a lot more similarities than I would
remember.
But no, great character. So, Steven, what do you think about this EXO Force hero?
EXO Force's line was just fantastic.
Yeah.
They had such a tall order. These guys it was a constant fight for survival. I think this was one of, they don't use it a lot, but there's the rose gold a little bit on this character a little too, for the contrast in the gold. So yeah, he's really fun. They had all these unique personalities. So
comic books.
Comic books. They were all very different. Everybody. My favorite was Ryo personally. Was it Takashi? Is that his name? Takashi was Mark's favorite, and
I always pronounced it Take-Shi, but I was
Take-Shi,
completely wrong.
I'm
terrible pronunciations.
Yeah. So I would go with the green. I mean, it's a really cool theme, very underrated, sort of the proto Ninjago. But yeah, I think it was extremely cool, very revolutionary.
I would say where a lot of people's mech love came from.
Exactly, a lot of mech builders can trace their roots to EXO Force. So
Great mechs.
I think he's cool. Maybe not quite as iconic as a few of these, but because he was in a group before.
Exactly,
but still really cool.
Yeah, on that note, Steven, I think that's the only flaw that I have with it. He is part of a group. However, he was the one who actually was face to face with Mecha One on the climax of the first comic book.
All right, when he shot
he sacrificed his mech and sent all of his power through it to blow up the underside of the giant.
I always looked at him as the leader, kind of.
He kind of was. He was the Raphael.
He got the hero moment among all those four heroes who were heroes among the normal human soldiers.
Yeah, some of them were like giving it back up and like getting the mech to the attack and distracting the bad guy.
So they weren't the only EXO Force fighters, but they were the ones featured, and he was the one who had that moment. And so for that reason, deepest of greens, his hair. So.
There you
One
are.
of the most dramatic stories in Lego, ever. Maybe some Bionicles would come close, but that was the most do or die. This is it.
They're fighting against extinction.
Yeah, it's like D-Day, right? This is the most important thing they could ever do.
So very heroic. Got a definitely
very heroic. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Great choice, Garrett. I'm glad we got some EXO Force representation.
I had to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, so my second one that I've got to bring up is this is my second one, right? Yeah. Second and sixth so far is going to be Jaco from Knight's Kingdom 2.
Yeah.
Now, I got to start this pitch off with the fact that Knight's Kingdom 2 is a little bit misunderstood and maybe not quite as appreciated as some themes. However, it's worth pointing out that Vladik is one of the top-rated villains from the previous video. And the guy who foiled him, not once, not twice, but 3 times is Jaco, who ended up rising from simple knighthood to be king of Morica.
He was the king.
So or Morcia.
However.
Anyway, King of Morsia. He ended up being king, and so this is the guy. He got the shield, he defeated Vladek in multiple battles, so he was the dude. And, you know, you can argue that, Knights Kingdom 2 wasn't good. There was some cool stuff in there.
Definitely.
And he was the hero. Among that, kind of like how you have the EXO Force, one of them stood out a little bit. Jaco stood out just a hair above the rest. He was the one in the comic books. He got his hero moment, so that's why I'm bringing Jaco. But I'm curious to think, this could be controversial for you guys. So, Steven, you might have some thoughts.
Okay, so my favorite was Santa's. There's no denying. I like the red one the best.
The strength.
Cool. Yeah, the strong one. Yeah,
and Jaco was the fast one.
He was the fast one. And you were faster than me, but I could out-wrestle you, so it kind of matched us a little bit, yeah. So normally I would have given this just a full-on red light. I would not have, at all like this, but... I had recently I did a podcast and Caleb, the Castle Bro, was there, and he made a strong pitch that there's a lot of character with these guys, and there is something more personal about these knights, despite looking kind of silly. Some people have painted these helmets to look amazing when they're painted. They're just gorgeous. So there is something there, and, you know, it's... I'll give it a yellow instead, because I was going to give it a hit. Yeah. But... Caleb made a good point, you made a good point, and I can't deny the nostalgia behind it. So
he is a hero.
He's a hero. Vladek was cool and all that, but fine, we'll give him a yellow.
Okay.
Yeah,
hey, thank you.
Yeah, that's for you, Caleb.
Garrett, how are you feeling about Jaco over here?
So he's actually my favorite knight as well.
Hey, there we
Knights
go.
Kingdom 2.
The color is kind of cool.
Love the color. The color is what really sells it for me.
That
the
light
shield's
blue.
great. And also, I love the weapon. I mean, that sword's a really cool mold.
Yes.
I might have picked a different knight for, a hero knight, but I would give this a yellow, just because I do like the figure a lot.
But there are better knights, maybe.
Yes, but this was my favorite knight from Kingdom 2.
So you did have those moments you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah. I've noticed that a lot of the villains and the heroes, it's usually a small group of heroes versus one villain. And I think one villain like Garmadon, Ogle, Vladek, they get a little more screen time because they're by themselves, whereas the ninjas... or like the Knights, or even Johnny Thunderhead sidekicks.
Right.
I think they get spread out a little bit.
The team of heroes might, spread the field versus having that one.
Yeah. So it's a little harder.
hero.
We're like, which one is the leader? There's some debate about who the leader is sometimes.
And even with, you could say that Knights
you could say that Danju was the leader.
Yeah, your favorite was Danju or Raskus or any of those guys. So that makes total
There's
sense.
some customizability with the heroes versus the villains, which are clearly evil.
So that's probably a caveat to several that we'll mention here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely not a bad figure though.
Yeah,
still a good knight.
2 yellows is all right. It could have been 2 reds. It's
good.
good. Hey, I'll take it.
I'll give it to you. I'm
Right,
almost leaning
Joe.
green, but I'm almost leaning the green side of things, but we'll see.
No, we're good. All right. What's your next figure here, Steven?
All right, I'm gonna go with this fellow here. So another example of a group versus another group, actually, which is the group of monsters from Monster Fighters. One of those, kind of like Atlantis, kind of like Power Miners. Monster Fighters was sort of it wasn't even emo. It was like this cool steampunk version of vampires and stuff, kind of like their
Victorian almost.
Yeah.
Victorian almost. Rodney, I think, was the name of the real hero, but we don't have a Rodney here, so I grabbed my favorite one. This was what was his name? Do you guys? I
don't know.
It was General.
Give me my phone. We'll look him up.
Yeah, we'll look him up real quick. Where
the black phone right there.
Right here. Yeah, there.
Or does anyone else have a phone for you?
Here, try this one here. So yeah. Anyway, he was the hunter of the group, and he would go up against the werewolf. He was kind of like, he very much reminds me of the Jumanji villain from when Robin Williams was playing that role. That was just extremely fun. So yeah, his printing is really cool. His gun is really cool. All of the monster fighters were just amazing. And yeah, he absolutely just, this guy was really fun. He's got that little monocle as well. Maybe he's Brains' ancestor.
Yeah.
He's got the eyepiece as well. Maybe he's like his grandfather.
His torso print is so detailed.
Exactly. It got maps
so
and
much
everything.
going on.
So yeah, I think he's really cool. It's from a great theme. I actually have this guy in my own collection. I bought a couple of them over the years. They're just really useful to have, and he's just a great character.
Yeah.
Rodney Rathbone, and I think that is... Oh, no. Major Quinton Steele.
Quinton Steele, that's
I
right.
wouldn't have guessed that. So.
Yeah, Quinton Steele, Major Quinton. I know he was a military guy, retired military, big game hunter. So yeah, this guy, I think all of the Monster Fighters are really cool, but this was one of my favorites.
He also is not missing any of his limbs or doesn't have any eye patches.
No,
so that
yeah.
guy is. Does he have an eye patch?
He has an eyepiece,
Okay.
but that's probably like a zoom in thing. You know?
So
Like,
he has fared better than his counterparts. So
yeah, a lot of them
good
are missing body parts.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy has done pretty well. He's the long range. He's the sniper.
And you know, one of the things that a hero do is fight monsters.
Yeah.
So I think totally a good team to pick.
Works
However,
perfectly.
because he's part of a team and because they were very balanced, I think he's not the ultimate hero of Monster
Yeah.
Fighters. I got to give it a yellow.
Ah,
But
fair enough.
I really do love Monster Fighters. I think it's a great, solid theme. So.
Well,
Did you rate that one, Garrett, or not yet?
I'm also gonna have to give it a yellow. Just
Okay.
mainly, I love Monster Fighters. One of my favorite themes. He was definitely not my favorite character from the bunch.
I gotcha.
I mean, I forget, what's the main guy's name again?
There's Rodney.
Rodney.
He had the sword.
Yeah.
He went up against Dracula.
Yeah.
He was kind of the
I
main
mean,
one,
loved
wasn't he?
him,
Yeah.
but I really liked. I think her name was Anne, the female from
With
the
the hairpiece?
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
had the hair. You could put an arrow or like a bone in.
Yeah, that was
That was
fun.
so
the arrow.
cool.
Yeah, her name was Ann Lee.
Yeah,
Ann Lee,
I
yeah.
really liked her.
Rodney Rathbone and Frank Rock. Frank
Frank
Rock
Rock.
had the hair.
Frank Rock
That's
was,
right.
yeah, he's had the crazy vehicle.
But yeah.
But they all weren't like. I think maybe Rodney could make a case for being the leader,
Because
sort
he would
of.
fight Dracula.
Yeah.
But they all had a balanced, and that doesn't make them any worse. But it doesn't. It means that it's like you could pick multiple heroes.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But I think this one was definitely
good
one of-
choice.
One of the highlights.
If you like his giant gun, so
Yeah.
It's a great piece.
Yeah, there's a couple sets with him and Rodney together. Maybe he was like part of the senior group, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's cool.
that's cool. All right. Well, what's your next figure here, Garrett? What do we got on the?
Well, I think I need to go ahead and get the elephant out of the room.
Yeah.
I did pick one of the Bionicle minifigures to bring out. This is my favorite Bionicle, pretty much from any of the lines.
The white one.
This is Matoro. And, I don't know why we actually even have this one out here. I'm going to bring
that one.
the actual Matoro out here. Get him out. If we're going to talk about Lego heroes, we have to talk about Matoro.
Yeah.
He started out as a Matoran all the way back in 2001. He was one of the McDonald's Happy Meals. And his storyline continues
He's
all
almost
the
as
way.
old as Johnny Thunder.
Yeah. He continues all the way up into 2007 with the Ignition line. And he actually ends up becoming the sole savior of the Bionicle universe. He dons the mask of life.
Really?
Yeah, the great spirit robot that
That's
the Bionicle
crazy.
universe is contained inside.
The really big
of.
robot,
Yes.
yeah.
It was dying and was about to fully shut down. And he put on the mask of life, which sacrifices his physical body, but was able to restart and give life to the spirit robot again.
That's pretty epic.
Pretty epic.
Save the whole world.
Exactly.
Just
You get a
with
little
himself.
chills hearing about that
This
story.
little McDonald's toy saved the
Exactly.
entire world.
This Happy Meal.
That's nuts.
So, I mean, for Lego heroes, this is definitely my favorite and, I mean, the best Lego hero.
Yeah. And great way to introduce it by using what's is technically a minifigure, and then let's get
Yes.
the better version of it here.
Yeah, this is the playable
You could
one,
debate
yeah.
whether this is a minifigure.
That's gonna be in the comments. It's not a minifigure.
I'm gonna count it because
I
it's
think it
small.
counts.
It was
Yeah.
McDonald's. It was kind of hard to find.
For Bionicle, this is essentially a minifig.
Some of the smallest
I mean,
Bionicles you could get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it counts. I love him.
But Steven, how are you feeling about
Oh,
McCain?
green. You had me before he sacrificed himself for the whole universe. Yeah, this guy is really, really cool. The color scheme's fun. The design of these guys is actually really fun.
And
they
he
worked really
evolved,
hard.
so-
Yeah, he had this big character growth and everything. He changed over time and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel green light.
I want to say he had like some of the most sets made of any character. I think he had
Really?
like 4 or 5 different sets for him.
Just about outside of the original Toa?
He had this one, the McDonald's Happy Meal. Then there was another Matoran form of him. So he had 4, because then he had 2 other Toa forms.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then a prominent place in the story, of course.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah, definitely a green for me too. Can't argue with this at all. So great choice, great figure.
Crazy.
I'm really loving these McTorans a lot. So
Got to.
very cool.
Yeah, green for sure.
Absolutely. All right, I guess we're ready to move on. So this one is gonna be. I think it's a really strong case, yet it's also very controversial because it's weird.
This is the oddball of
So
the
this
group.
is Superstation Master.
Superstation Master.
And so this was the first place I saw him. I'm not necessarily sure this is where he first appeared, but was in the game Lego Loco, which
I remember it
me and
vividly.
Steven played a lot as kids. And he would basically arise naturally. You couldn't build him. You couldn't
just pop
him in anywhere.
Yeah.
He would
Spawn naturally.
He would just show up and start rescuing people from being run over by the train tracks. Because Lego didn't want to see little minifigures get shattered, do a million pieces. It wasn't quite as PC. But yeah, Superstation Master also made an appearance in Lego Island 2, where he would stop you from getting on the train tracks and hurting yourself.
No matter what.
So we actually made it a game to try and get on the tracks and then escape from Superstation Master, because he'd try and chase you down and grab you.
Even if you hopped on the track and hopped off, he would grab you and bring you right back to the train station.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Like, even if you hop on the train tracks, hop off the bridge, hit the water, he'd go right after you.
the water.
And save you.
That's
So
great.
it was
Like, literally, there was
gonna
no
get you.
way to escape his rescuing. Like, it was very interesting.
So
Yeah.
Superstation Master can fly. He has an early Lego plastic cape. He's got a mask. He's got his own logo. Whether he's wearing any clothes or not, we're not sure.
A train superhero.
So Superstation Master, extremely unusual, almost like Super Mario-esque, but
Yeah.
Very
definitely,
Mario-esque.
definitely Lego IP and definitely a hero. So what do you guys think about
Weirdest
Superstation Master
one.
here?
You know what? Like, he lives up to his name. Like, he literally saved you at all times. He was kind of the mascot for some of the train-themed games. I remember those games vividly, and I enjoyed playing them. They were you couldn't lose, but they're really fun. They had great sounds, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a green. Like, he had some personality was fleshed out in the Lego Island 2. I thought that was the weakest of the three, Lego Island 2. But, you know, I'll give him a green. Like, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna object to? I mean, I don't know.
He is weird, but
He's
he is a hero.
But he's also extremely Lego. Like, this is
Yes.
deep dive Lego right here. Most people don't know about Superstation Master.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about Superstation Master, Garrett?
So, I think he's a really cool character. Like, I mean, for simplistic printing, he's done very well. I do like that aspect of him. I will say, though, as a child, I didn't like this character. I was scared of him.
He's a little weird. He's
I thought he
terrifying.
was very
It's like
creepy.
Ronald McDonald.
I thought he was very creepy, and I thought he belonged more in a white van than a train.
Dude.
For the nostalgia,
Oh,
I
dear.
want to give him a green, but for childhood trauma, I'm gonna have to give him a yellow.
I understand. That's totally legit.
legitimate.
I kind of figured he might be a little bit controversial, and
Yeah.
that's why we're here. So
I think he's a cool figure. He's just.
He's
I
a
don't know if
hero.
I want him hanging around my other minifigs.
Yeah, exactly. He's a hero, but would you want him to invite him to your party? Maybe not. I don't
No,
know.
he'd probably just be saving everyone from some random thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't sit on that couch.
a little too. Yeah, exactly. A little too intense for most
Very
situations.
intense,
but
very
yeah.
driven, very like
There we go.
hyper focused. You know, it's crazy.
Alrighty. Well, Steven, what's the next hero we
I
want to
think
bring
we'll stick
up?
with the island theme going on. We got the sort of game theme. So this is a character that a pretty decent amount of Lego fans will know. This is Pepperoni, of course. No pun intended. I guess I don't know, but he was the dude with the food. This guy had 3 very large games, more or less based around him. The first one, he was one of the main characters, but not the character.
He was the one who initiated the main story arc of the game.
That's right.
So,
That's true. He is the main protagonist, although there were lots of other characters. But he became even more popular in the games. There was Lego Island 2, Lego Island 3. And he was the star of all those. He would go. This is the Tom Cruise of the Lego world. He would skydive. He
was
would
the
go into
stuntman.
space. He would fly helicopters. He would like race speedboats, dive underwater, go time travel. Like, this guy would go everywhere. Those Lego Island games. There was also Lego Island 2. Just went everywhere besides Lego Island. Lego Island Extreme was like crazy. He was like literally driving motorcycles through down up traffic, going up lane the traffic. It was crazy. So he was all of the 2000s extremeness in one person, personified. All the extremeness of the 2000s was personified in him.
dude, yeah.
He would throw pizzas at robots and stuff. He was just all of the madness and wackiness of early Lego was all in him, and he was a very fun character. I think Lego Island Extreme did him better. I think maybe Lego Island 1 was better. Maybe not as big a fan of Lego Island 2, despite the fun games there, but he was just amazing. Lots of character. Everything was fleshed out, and yeah, he's amazing.
Yep, I gotta go solid green on this one just because of all the nostalgia. I played all 3 games. We got the sets as kids. He had a couple sets that he came in.
A few.
And so, fun character. You really have to play the games to appreciate his full magnitude, but he stopped the Brickster from destroying reality itself multiple times. So that's a pretty heroic act. Very brave dude who also had pizza and was great. What do you think, Garrett?
We definitely have to give him a green. I mean, you said it best there. I mean, any man, he went up against the Brickster.
Yep. And beat him every stinking time. He beat him.
So, yeah, definitely a green for him.
True hero, Pepperoni. There you go. All
He's
right.
literally like Sonic the Hedgehog or like Mario of the Lego world. He's the game hero.
He was also somewhat of a poster child for a while, too. So,
for a little while.
He was a character that they put at the forefront.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So, Garrett, what's the next one on our list here? And we're getting down to the last couple here now that I think about it. So, what do we got here?
So, for the next one, I have picked a little bit of a different one. Some would say,
this is the first.
But
It's a gray area. We'll let it slide.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
So I have picked the Atlanta Brick Company Baby Mech.
There we go.
So, I mean, I have essentially 2 mech pilots in mind, but hey, I like mecha.
Him and Takashi.
What really strikes me with this is you have to be a brave person to pilot a mech to begin with. You have to be a really brave baby to pilot a mech. I mean...
With a Gatling gun.
With a giant Gatling gun. I mean, we have one in our city hunting a Demigorgon, I think.
Yeah. That's pretty intense stuff, right?
That's intense stuff for a baby to be doing in a mech. I mean, hey, it's one of our models we make here at the store. Yeah. It's a great model. It's hilarious. It goes well in any cities.
It's not from any previous movie or IP.
No,
it's
ours.
So it's good.
I mean, not an original Lego IP, but an Atlanta Brick Co. IP.
It's close enough. Yeah,
this is a hero right here. I mean,
yeah.
All right. You first, bro.
I would actually. I was thinking maybe this one could be yellow, but no. This is the Monster Fighter Baby Mech. I mean,
or Alien Invasion.
In our advertising material, he's constantly shown fighting. Xenomorphs. Siren Heads, the Grinch.
Siren Head.
This guy fights the worst, most evil monsters ever, all with a smile on his face. He can't even eat solid food, but he's out here doing destruction and
with
damage.
His little onesie.
He is saving the universe from horrors beyond our comprehension, and definitely a green for me. I mean, I gotta go green. I'm sorry.
So for those of you confused about why in the world a baby is not only driving a mech but also tanks and everything, when the baby came out, it became a meme pretty quickly, and people were putting the baby in all kinds of funny spots and like crazy designs stuff. And they still do all the time, especially with the space baby. So yeah, it's part of the Lego culture, I guess. So because of that, I'm gonna give him a green as well. Like it's just too crazy not to. Like there's just so much madness around this. So yeah, we'll give him a green.
There we are.
Sounds good. Yeah, a very fun character. I'm glad you brought him out, Garrett. Some people might disagree whether it fits in the category, but
it's a minifig.
All that aside,
it's a minifig, and we're considering him a hero.
Yeah, we're making the rules on this, not you.
we make the rules here.
Alrighty. So my second to last figure is going to be the Golden Ninja.
Ooh,
so if you're talking about a Lego IP, a Lego hero, there wasn't that much that can compare to the build-up of the Golden Ninja for Lego Ninjago. This would have climaxed around season 3, or technically 4 if you're counting the prequels.
2013, 2014?
Yeah, around that period. I'm not as expert on this as some of our friends like Jacob and Grant. However, the Golden Ninja was what all these heroic Ninjago characters dreamed of being. And when it finally came to fruition, he was embodied. He defeated Garmadon, one of the best Lego villains, according to your video. So being able to arise, it's almost like the Phoenix. It's like a prophecy.
Luke Skywalker. This is our Luke Skywalker.
This is on the levels of Luke Skywalker or any other kind of like chosen one. I mean, it's like you can't. He's gold. He's powerful. He rides a giant mech. So it's
dragons.
His father is the evil hero that has the evil villain has to destroy. So it's like
some Star Wars reference.
Golden Ninja, one of my top picks for heroes. What do you guys think? I don't think you can give this one anything but a green. But we'll see.
No, I remember when I was still in the Lego a bit. I would hear kids like at church like, "Oh, who's gonna be the Green Ninja, the Golden Ninja? Who's gonna be him?" Like, I'm like, "What are you guys talking about? Like, we're talking about Lego Ninjago." I'm like, "What?" And I was clueless. And like people were just so infatuated with this character. And his build-up, you're right, it was amazing. And the payoff was very good, too. There have been a couple versions, but he rode a 4-headed dragon and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he had his own golden dragon, too.
He had a golden dragon, that's right, So, yeah, it was an amazing part of a Lego story. So, I mean, and it broke the mold of like the whole, we've been talking about it, the group essentially being the hero and not having it carved up. That wasn't really the case. You had your extra characters, but Lloyd was his own unique character, and he became the leader.
And he was the one of the heroes.
Yeah, he was the one. He was the group.
And I mean, you have that a little bit in some other characters that we referenced, but he superseded the team of heroes.
And it's one thing for an EXO Force guy to shoot down, robots that they don't care about, but this guy's fighting his dad, so that's a little bit different. That's a more personal attachment. So he's got almost an even bigger uphill climb than some of these original EXO Force
Jaco
guys.
just a random villain.
Vladek wasn't related to Jaco, and like all this stuff. So it's a new element. It's a new part, and he kicks butt. It's amazing. Green.
How you feeling about this one, Garrett?
Oh, I mean, easy green. I mean, the only other ninja that comes close to this is the green ninja from the ninja theme.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's basically
the
what
unnamed green ninja.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, easy green for this. I mean, any way to make an awesome looking minifig is add gold.
Yeah.
So to make solid gold. Hey,
forget about Mr. Gold. Get this.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy green. That's a great Ninjago figure.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, definitely had to include some Ninjago references. All the Ninjago heroes are heroes. But this was a special one among them, so pretty cool. All right, so Steven, this is going to be your last
one. So we're going for the nostalgia again. You and I, Mark, we both, and most people know this, we love Castle. We really enjoy Castle. It's just our favorite theme ever. I couldn't for the life of me decide what knight to grab. None of them have a ton of personality.
It was all implied. You were supposed to make up a story.
That was the beauty of it. You could make up your own characters, your own stories, like with Robin Hood or whatever. We did that all the time. But then you have great icons like Basil the Batlord and Will the Witch and all these other fun ones. But they're one of the first named kings of the group. Like the king. Who else is on top but the king himself? And this is King Leo from Knight's Kingdom 2. Now, I didn't much care for the sets, but I
Knight's Kingdom 1.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Knight's Kingdom 1. King
Leo.
Yeah, King Leo, but what was the other one's name? King Matthias. King Matthias came after him, but this is King Leo, very on brand with the whole lion theme. I didn't much care for those original sets from Knight's Kingdom 1, but the minifigs looked so good.
They really did.
The printing just holds up so well. It looks so fun. And there was also like the chrome elements, like the chrome helmets, the chrome shields, a bunch of other cool stuff. Very minifig-centric theme. And they had books. They had a few other elements around King Leo. And for a while, he had his face on the magazines a little bit and stuff like that. And this is one of... I bought a set with 2 minifigures, him and Sir Richard. And this is one of, if not my very first Castle minifigure ever. Not this particular one, but this model is my very first.
Character.
Yeah, King Leo was my very first Castle character who started it all for me. So I got to go with King Leo. He would go up against Cedric the Bull, and this guy was in also games with Pepperoni. So these guys actually played together, and Johnny Thunder was in the same game. So everyone was tied into that fun original early 2000s universe. So yeah, he was a big part of it, and he had a kingdom to rule and all these knights under him, all with unique stories and stuff. So yeah, it was simple, but I think King Leo does great, and I love the printing, and then the chrome elements. So yeah, a full package.
Great choice, dude. What do you think about King Leo, Garrett?
Oh, I mean, one of the best King minifigures. I mean, great face print. I mean, and the chrome elements are beautiful. I mean, very royal looking, I would say. So I would give it a green.
There you go. I'm a little torn this one.
Really?
The only reason being is that he's definitely a good guy. Yeah. He's definitely a hero, but it was also some story elements that suggested King Richard or even his daughter, Princess Storm, might also
King
be...
Leo, I think he's... Or King Richard?
Sir Richard.
Sir Richard, yeah.
There was some story elements that Sir Richard or his daughter, Princess Storm, would also rise to be a hero too. Yeah. So I think that it takes away a little bit of like who's the true hero, because sometimes it's not always the king that's the hero of the story.
That's fair enough.
But the chrome elements and the fact that he's very recognizable and really one of the more notable kings, because every other character is just the king of that theme, that faction.
He's just the king, and
there's
no name. No personality.
There's no personality. It's a fairly generic.
And he had a queen too, which was a first. He was married. He had a queen as well. That was another.
So this guy's got a way more fleshed out backstory and personality than most. So I am going to go green. But it was closer to yellow than I would have liked. But it was still cool.
That is a testament to the other characters and how they get a little fleshed out too, with some of their backstories. And they had a few little comic books that they made.
If they're all strong characters, unfortunately, the hero that you might pick from them is maybe just less.
That's true. That's
what we talked about the whole.
But I think he looks really good.
So still greens all around. And then, so what do we got here on your table here?
So, for my last figure, I also have a king.
There you go.
So, I have the Dwarf King right here.
Yes.
This was, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say the first castle set I got was the Dwarf Mine.
Hey,
wow, okay.
that's
And I
that's a
remember-
good start.
Yeah, I remember getting that when I was young, and I remember we were on vacation somewhere, and my dad kept telling me not to build it because we couldn't transport it if I built it.
Yeah.
And then I built it anyway, and then it broke on the way home, and I cried for like 3 days about it.
Oh, no, you built it
But-
back, right?
I think so.
Okay.
But I mean, I love this figure. I love the gold helmet, the Viking, or the Viking axe essentially.
Yeah, they started with Vikings.
The copper axes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're great pieces, and I love that shield too.
The shield is
yeah.
great.
So I mean, one of my favorite King figures, but like you guys were saying, you know, he's the Dwarf King. He's unnamed. He doesn't really have a whole lot of story to him.
But so many cool, unique pieces,
Yeah.
though. The golden helmet, the cool beard pieces. Such
First
a
of his
unique-
kind, too. This guy's before Lord of the Rings, any Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings things that came out.
Yep.
So definitely first of his kind. Definitely. I'll let you go first, bro.
No, it's fine. Very special character. I'm gonna go with yellow. The only reason being is because I think he, like, as far as looks, he's a green.
Yeah.
And even as far as he's a king, he's a good guy. But the rest of the story is implied. We don't really even. I don't think we have a name for him necessarily.
I don't
Maybe
think he
in
has
the
a name.
comics or
Yeah.
games. But we don't know that much about him, and so it's like we're assuming the dwarves are generally assumed to be good, but they
Yes.
also could be maybe greedy. Maybe they don't get along. You have to create that story, and so because of that gray area in the narrative, I'm going to go yellow, but still a great figure and definitely a hero, I think, because he's fighting the trolls and he's doing good. So
he's
yeah.
really
Implied hero, but
Yeah.
who knows what he does in his free time.
we know less about him than EXO Force
Yeah.
or all these like Bionicle, all these other themes that we've talked about. So for that reason, it's yellow. What do you feel?
Yeah,
Steve?
I don't think that's the fault of the character though, because at the time Lego was cutting out a lot of the fat of their whole business, and they were doing
And the
away
story.
with and the story. So they were simplifying the games. They weren't doing a lot of comics anymore. They weren't investing all this time and money into all this extra stuff that we now really love with
They
nostalgia.
weren't hiring writers anymore.
They weren't
Yeah,
hiring
yeah.
writers. They weren't really fleshing out the story. They were letting the builders, the kids, do the story, and that's probably what made it better in the long term because you have your own nostalgia.
They definitely were.
But I'm
good
giving
sets.
him a green for aesthetics because this guy is really cool. They actually brought back some of the old Viking torsos for some of this stuff, which is really cool. I absolutely love all the crazy colors going on. I love the shield. So I'm gonna have to give him a green based on his aesthetics carry it over.
And he is a good guy. He's a hero.
And extremely unique. There aren't a lot of dwarves in the whole. They haven't done dwarves since, despite their popularity.
Yeah.
So
A
he's
few in
very
Lord of the Rings,
special.
but that's about it.
Well, that's a totally different thing. That's a licensed team. So I'm gonna give him. A green because it's aesthetics. Yeah.
Alrighty, and I think this is my last character too, and this is one of the most iconic.
Oh, another
characters in
king.
Lego. So, yeah, another king. Yeah, exactly. So this is Emmett,
The chosen one.
literally the
special-
chosen one, the special one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who was to rescue, save the universe, in
Save
Chris
the
Pratt's
universe.
iconic voice. And so Emmett started his life as a normal construction worker. His face is so generic it matched every other face in the database. He has a smiley face. He loves chicken wings and super giant sausages
Waffles.
and overpriced coffee. But then his life took a total 180, and he became the hero on a quest across all spectrums of the Lego universe to stop the ultimate villain. And not only did he stop him, he actually
He changed
convinced
his
him
heart.
to turn good. So all these other heroes usually
Sam Sinister was a bad guy.
they
Ogle was a
typically-
bad guy.
They typically stopped their opponents by outsmarting
By
them,
force.
defeating them, by force. However they could.
Brute force.
But Emmett was such a good, true hero
Yeah.
that he convinced the ultimate
Still
villain, the
changed
cold,
everything.
black-hearted villain of Lord Business, to turn good and unfreeze everybody. So it's like he has the piece of resistance to stop the Kraggle.
Yep.
I mean, it's like it was an amazing story, and the minifigure is so character and personalized, and it's just. If you're bringing out Lego heroes, Emmett's in the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you guys feel about Emmett?
I'll start. Emmett is he is the first major. I mean, Clutch Powers was the first, but let's be honest. This guy stole the show. Emmett was just so relatable, so fun. He could have been annoying, but he was just amazing.
Yep.
And that ending was just literally the best in a kid's animated film ever. That's
Yes.
one of the best endings. Period. It was such a fun movie.
The
It
Lego
was
movie
so-
could have been a giant ad.
Could've been that. People were shocked at how good it was.
It was a
and
powerful
a lot
story.
of it had to do with this guy.
Yeah.
I loved his jokes. I loved the voice acting, and it's Emmett. He represents so much Lego. Now Lego's not doing much with any sort of Lego movie universe stuff anymore.
Yeah,
but
they've dialed
he
back
saved
that
the
lately.
universe. He did it, and like that, the ending of that movie was just like, this is just so powerful. It was Lego's like like the climax of their realization of what they were as an identity. This is when Lego was back forever. And Emmett marks that return forever of Legos. So it's just, he can't get more epic.
Yep.
Green.
Green. And Garrett, I'm guessing you're kind of on that train too.
Definitely going to be green. I mean, like Emmett represents like this new generation of Lego that we have now.
He really does.
Like like you said, Lego understands that fans want Lego. Like
the ushering in of a new era.
Yeah. And I mean, he is the ultimate Lego hero.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to be a green. And, I mean, hey, if you just have a regular construction figure already, you have an Emmett, essentially.
You got an Emmett. Any of them could be Emmett.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, such a fun character.
I'm glad somebody brought Emmett out.
I have never met anyone who didn't like the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
I've never met someone. Now, some people didn't like Lego Movie too, but I've never met anyone who didn't like Lego Movie.
The first one was cinematic gold. Second one is, it's a little bit not
clunky.
Not as iconic, maybe. But anyway. So many great heroes on the table. This has been a fun conversation, but I have a couple fun little comparisons and thought-provoking concepts to bring out for you guys. Okay, so sometimes you'll see on like memes and other things, it's like, choose one to save you, the other ones will come after you.
Oh!
So of your 5 heroes, who is going to be your sidekick or protector, and the others are all trying to get you?
Oh,
because we can have 2 and the rest come after us?
One is saving you, the others are trying to kill you.
Oh, shoot.
So of your 5, who's it going to be?
Let me think.
That's
I want to
such a
say... Okay, not... pretty close on... Our
Monster
captain.
Fighters,
Yeah, Monster Fighters. So pretty close. Did it have to be from my own pile?
It has to be from your 5.
Oh, from my own 5. Okay.
Major Quentin's a close.
Major
he's got the
Quentin,
big gun.
he's got a big gun. He could shoot anybody coming at him.
So who's going to save you amongst all the other
I want to
heroes?
say it's either Johnny. You know what? I'm going to go with Johnny because he could literally like get you out of any. He's literally MacGyver.
He's sliding under the door.
So he's sliding under the door. He's got his own gun. He's got ropes and all the equipment. He's the most equipped minifigure ever.
You would escape to Mount Everest. And
We'd escape to Mount Everest. We'd ride dinosaurs out of there pretty easily. So I think he's got dynamite in his backpack.
So Johnny Thunder's the pick to survive.
He could, literally, even if the others weren't coming after me, we could just run off to the desert and everyone else would die but us. So we would just be fine. So I'm going to go with Johnny Thunder. I think I could get...
Throw dynamite.
Pepper would come close, but he would just throw pizzas at people. So I'm going to go with... and the melee weapons don't always work. So I'll go with definitely Johnny Thunder.
Now, do you think you would survive?
I think I could. I think I could because we'd fly out of there or whatever. He'd hotwire a plane and we'd get out. So.
Alrighty. Well, Garrett, what's your choice to survive? Who's going to save you from the rest of them?
Maybe you should go with the Baby Mech.
Right? Just mow everybody down.
That would be a scary one to run away from. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I feel like I have to pick Baby Mech to be my sidekick because I don't want him to chase after me.
Exactly, because he would kill you.
If someone's going to murder you in this group, it's Baby Mech,
It's going to
right?
be Baby Mech, and I don't know if I'll be able to get away from him.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think Baby Mech's going to be my sidekick.
He could probably save you just by like laying down fire, and everyone else couldn't get you, right? So,
Battery hops out of the mech and does like the whole Puss in Boots thing where he looks cute.
Exactly.
And then the mech comes alive and then shoots him.
That's.
Might I make a recommendation for yours, by the way?
What would you say here?
The Superstation Master. Like, he's Superman. He can fly. He'd fly out of any situation.
He does have the power to stop.
He would pick everybody up and then drop them.
Yeah, he could move them to the train station. They never.
Everyone would get moved.
But
if you know, you know.
My actual pick would be Emmett.
Yeah.
Really?
Because he would convince all the other ones
That's
to turn
true.
good.
He would convince all the others to be good.
He would save me, and
That's
we would all be happy
right.
having a pizza party together.
We would all eat. Pete Pepper would provide the pizza.
Yeah, we'd have chicken wings and big sausages and overpriced coffee. It'd be great.
You're right. He would turn them all to be the good guys.
That'd be great.
Now,
That's true.
same question, but it's open the floor to all of them.
Yes.
What would you think? Imagine you had to pick 3 heroes to save you. The rest are trying to kill you.
Okay. That widens the field from anybody.
It's probably a similar concept. Yeah, all the things on the
All
table.
right. I'm gonna go with.
And it might be the same question over again.
I think I'm gonna go with this guy,
Chase McCain?
Chase McCain, and then
To
I'm gonna
protect
go
you?
with, to protect me,
Wow,
and
yeah.
then Johnny again,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna go with probably. Let's see. Oh, no. Well, if he had his mech, I would go with
You can kind of
Takeshi.
count that, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
if Takeshi had his mech, considering how many wars he's been in,
Yeah.
I think he would.
His battle
This is more like a battle versus a hunt. So think about
Oh,
that.
okay,
one too.
okay,
So,
yeah. Oh wait, a battle. Oh, that changes.
Think about it. You have a whole field of people trying to kill you now.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna stick with it. This guy can drive vehicles. This guy,
There you go.
The power of the Lego City Police.
power of the whole Lego City Police Force at his back, maybe, and then a huge mech to ride around, and I think I'd probably survive. So.
What's your thoughts on the field of battle, Garrett? Who would you pick as your team versus a huge horde of heroes?
So I think I would have to pick. Gotta have the Golden Ninja in there.
Yep.
Oh,
And
yeah,
his
I
golden
think
mech,
Golden
yeah.
Ninja,
Golden
his
Ninja.
dragon,
Gotta
his
have him in there to protect
Spinjitzu
me.
powers. Yeah,
I think I'm also gonna have Pepper
Oh, there you go.
come help out
Just
because
Pizza Storm. Yeah.
he's,
Action
he's
Man.
been holding a manual on the skateboard this whole video. That's impressive.
yeah, there you go.
So, and then I think it would be Matoro.
Matoro,
Would
yeah.
help out. Him and Pepper make a good combo. Matoro can throw the pizzas.
Yeah,
That's right. He's a disc thrower, right?
Yeah.
Ching, ching,
You can just go.
A Bionicle figure is a big, giant, powerful
That's
robot
true.
kind of
Exactly.
character. Yes,
That's true. That's true.
that's a good selection.
I think those would be my 3 for the battle.
So for battle, I'm gonna have to go Superstation Master.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you imagine him saving everyone and bringing them away from the battle. Baby Mech's
Yep.
gotta be there. He'd be
That's
mowing
true,
down
Baby Mech,
people.
yeah.
And then the last one, okay, I gotta go EXO Force.
There
on
you
that one
go.
too. So these
Yeah.
3 I would try to have in a battle to protect me and win that battle. Because Superstation Master, Giant EXO Force Mech, and Baby Mech.
You'd have 2 great mechs and a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Because
Yeah.
you can imagine the ground shaking as Superstation Master flies by. Yes.
lands down on the ground. That would
But
be fun.
very fun discussion with you guys. I think that's gonna round us up for
Yeah.
today. I really love all your picks. Let us know in the comments if you like our hero picks. I think we did some really good choices. Are there any that we could have missed, or any that shouldn't be on the table here? Because these are some controversial. Is Superstation Master
Is
a real
this a
hero?
minifigure?
Is that a minifigure?
I
Let
think
us
he is.
know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.